Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my garden for a autumn garden tour video, which I was really longing to do. We have the most beautiful day today. Clear blue skies, just a little bit breezy. The asters are in bloom. We already have the first autumnal foliage, and I can't wait to tour you around and share with you some of the updates that happened here in the garden and some of those things that I still want to do moving forward to next year. So let's start. We're standing in the midsection of a garden and I just want to change it a little bit today. And we're going to walk from here into the front garden because like that, maybe you get to see the front garden from a different angle as well. So if we just walk into here, you see that here on your right side, there is the sumac tree, which was really beautiful for many, many years. But in the past couple of years, it started to peter out a little bit. And this year was pretty bad. Like the foliage just dried off. There was no autumnal color at all. Last year, same this year. So I think unfortunately that one is for the chop, but the other shrubs have filled in so beautifully in this entire area that I don't really think I'm going to miss it that much. I think it'll be all right. The topiary piece here on your left side is freshly clipped and it's looking really nice. I always love it when topiary pieces are looking really nice and neat. The front garden, I haven't really done a lot, to be honest, this year. I think after I reworked this entire area last year, it just performed beautifully. There are some pop of colors here and there. The Asters are in bloom, you just saw them. Then here, for example, which is really nice, is a combination of the euphorbia. This is Ascot Rainbow, and it has a leaf variegation, green, yellow, a little bit reddish pinkish tips. And the front garden is based on color combinations of light violets, purples and yellow, mainly sulfur yellow, like cool yellows. Beautiful shrub here. That is from proven winners called Kodiak Orange. Really love this one. The fresh shoots, they appear in an orangey green tone and now they change color to a really wonderful golden. What you can see here, this is a Calamagrostis variety. We had a lot of rain this year. Even the summer was pretty wet here. So a lot of the grasses, they were just skyrocketing. Now they're too heavy and it just flopped. So what I'm going to do next year, it is a little too high for the midsection of a border. So I'm going to put it to the back of a border and I have to stake it so that this doesn't happen next year. But you learn something new every single year. Every year is different. Every year brings its new own challenges. This was one of the new introductions this year. It's a witch hazel. This is a variety called Arnold Promise. It has really light yellow flowers early on in the year. And now what is beautiful, that the leaves are changing to a wonderful golden tone, which obviously sits very well in the color theme of this part of the garden. And even more so, the hedge as a backdrop, which still has to be clipped, is nice and dark enough so that the yellow leaves can really shine, and I can see it from the kitchen window, which is really beautiful as well. If we move forward, you can see the Panacetum had a great year this year. This is blackhead. It just outgrown itself in size, and I kind of love that it is taking over the path a little bit, so you really like moving along here. Persicaria is looking very beautiful. This is Persicaria alba. Still in bloom. It's going to flower up until the first frost actually arrives. Then the front we have the Epimedium, like a really nice lush green pillowy plant. I always love to put it at the front of a border. The Peter here, and in the back the Aster. So all of this is looking really beautiful. If you just swing around, I'm not really going to walk too much in here because you can hear the cars. There's a street behind the hedge me. So here in the front garden, I'm going to change a little bit. I will reduce the amount of lawn that is here. So what I want to do is I actually want to swing out here already and really just have a path of lawn here. And all of this is supposed to be planted up because when we're sitting here, there's a couch right there behind me. You sit there and you kind of want to sit really in the garden and you don't. And I think if I start planting up this entire area, you're really going to get this feeling of sitting right in the garden, because the front garden, it has a decent size, but it's not extremely big. Like the garden really opens up in the back. So if we just walk to the back of a garden, you really get to see it. We have noontime right now, so a lot of the colors will be kind of very bright and very exaggerated. It would have been nicer to do the video in the afternoon, but the weather in autumn is always a little iffy here and we can have 2-3 seasons in a day. So I thought, okay, let's just do it, go out and do the video now. What you see in the midsection of a garden is that the hydrangeas are looking absolutely fantastic this year, and this is due to the rain. They are limelight and another variety that I planted so many years ago that I honestly forgot what I've actually planted. But you see that they've produced a lot and a lot of flowers, which I love. They changed color, they get a little bit crispy already, a little bit brown here and there, but still looking absolutely fantastic. One of the things that I did this year, and I started planting a little bit here and there, but mainly with annuals because I was not sure where I want to go color-wise, and now I know what I want to do is I've increased the size of the bed along the terrace here. So initially it went up until here, I think. So I swooped out a little bit here, and mainly then over there, I've really increased the size of the bed over here on this side here. And you see I filled the area. There are some asters in here, but they're mainly annuals in here. Like I have cosmos, I've got amaranth, which completely flopped. I've got annual delphinium, larkspur. I've got verbena bonariensis, which for me is mainly an annual just because in winter it can be too cold. I've got the big miscanthus still in here, and I've got this topiary, like evergreen piece, which is not really topiary anymore. They will go, and I will plant a standard ornamental plum there, which I've already bought. So a dark red foliage as an accent colour. And then for the rest, the asters are going to stay, then Peter is going to stay. And I want to focus on cool tones. So I want to have some cool blues. I want to have some very soft, cool pink tones in here. And nothing that is too bright and too strong and too rich in colour. Just as this little part here, moving from the front garden, which has soft blues, soft purples, into here, and also have some true blue in here, like a really nice icy blue delphinium, for example. So if we just continue walking into the back of a garden, you really get to see that the back of a garden is pretty much an autumnal garden. The mole was very active in the past 2 weeks. It wasn't here the entire summer, and I was really happy, and I thought, oh, the lawn looks fantastic. But well, now it was here, just removed. In the back, you're going to see piles. What you see is I reworked this little area here a little bit already. What I've done is, in the back, there were some perennials which just didn't look too good anymore. And I thought I want to have this area to be a little more easy and carefree. So in the front, I've got some perennials like the Asters, I've got the turtle hat, and now I've planted some Cornus. This is a variety called Midwinter Fire. And I learned that it's always good when you plant Cornus because of the glowing nature of the wood and the stems. It's good to have kind of a hedge behind them. When it's dark in the back, the colors really pop and they really start to glow. And this variety is really beautiful because if you just come a little bit closer, so actually people can see it, it has almost like an ombre effect. It is lighter towards the base, and then it gets really zingy towards the tips. They still have a little leaves. I want to put 2 more of those in here because I think that this is just the perfect area for them. Put some more persicaria here. This is Fire Trail, a little taller. Normally I have a lot of JS Kalo in the garden. A lot of the varieties look similar. What this does though, it has a little bit more of an autumnal foliage. Hasn't happened here yet. I've just replanted them from another area of a garden up here. With persicaria, you can actually do it kind of all right because they are very tolerant and they accept a lot of different conditions. So this is why normally I would not advise on moving plants at this time of the year when they're fully grown, but with persicaria, it's generally quite all right. And I've done it before, so it really works. If we move here into the back, you see there's still hydrangea. This is Annabelle, strong Annabelle actually. Or I think, depending if you're in the US, I think they're called Incredible. This year, to be fair, they look quite all right, but I think I'm going to replace them by hydrangea paniculata limelight, just for a little more cohesion. And the pointy hydrangeas, they just seem to like it better here. They look better throughout the entire year. I never have to water them. This one I have to water, even though it is not in full sun, and this is an area where the soil is more moist in general here in the upper garden, but still they are they're difficult for me. If you have them and they perform in your garden, I'm really happy for you here. Unfortunately, they are not doing their best. So I think that this is one of the things I'm going to replace next year. If you move here this is really what I love right now. If you just swing around from there all the way around, you see all the asters are in bloom, which I think looks just fantastic. Persicarias in bloom, you see the grasses. Here in the front, there is Imperator cylindrica red baron, which I just really think it is beautiful all around the year, but especially now in autumn. There's rich red in combination with these asters. This is Schöne von Dietlikon. It is an old German variety. Very reliable, really beautiful, and flowers for many, many weeks. One of the things that I finally tackled this year, we just had rain, so it looks a little this entire area, I put gravel here. So this is basalt actually. So there is a pathway now here. There is a little seating area here. I'm still going to rework the planting next year because there are some areas where I think it could look better. I bought a fire pit, which is a pond today because we had so much rain. 2 chairs, pillows. So I actually have to take them inside to dry them because I forgot to take them inside or put them in a box before the rain came. So I'm just going to put them on a rack inside in front of a fireplace. They're going to dry and then I store them for winter. But already sat here, I used a fire pit twice and it is really beautiful. It's really nice to do it and I can't wait to do some s'mores, for example, here. One of the things that I've introduced newly to the garden is I hope I pronounce it right, albizia as a tree here. Very feathery foliage, now golden yellow because of autumn. It has really wonderful light red pinkish flowers in summer, quite feathery. It doesn't grow to such an enormous height, but it's more like growing wider. So I'm kind of excited. It was a little iffy if it's gonna like it here, yes or no. I hope it will. You can see that wind traveled in. So the amaranth a day ago was standing like this and now it just flopped over, which is sad. I can stake it. Actually, I can. I have a stake here. You know what? We just stake it now quickly because then maybe we can walk through the path there. You can see that the panacetum grasses have grown to quite a fantastic height here too. But what I have to do is, because they're so wide, you can't really walk through the path anymore. So what I'm going to do is I have, I think, 1 or 2 in the back there. I'm going to lift those and put them over here to my left. So the entire area is kind of framed with these panacetum grasses and the ones at the front will move further to the back so that next year you can actually see that there is a path where we can walk through. So we are going to walk through this now. And I hope that next year it's going to be easier to navigate. This is Miscanthus giganteum, which, I don't know, it starts to flop. It doesn't look really good anymore. It's a beast and I will lift these 2 and replace them. I think this is really nice where it opens up here. This is another really wonderful variety of hydrangea. This is Panorama. They stay pretty compact and you see that they don't change color to a rusty red. They stay pretty much on the greener side and now they just get a little bit bronzy here. But if you don't like this rust red color on hydrangea, the pointy varieties, Panorama might be just the perfect variety for you. I love the sound of the gravel, by the way. If you walk over it, I think this is absolutely fantastic. Still, some of my dahlias are in bloom. So last year, I bought a dahlia which was supposed to be a peachy apricot tone and they happened to be completely pink, but like Barbie bright pink. And I kind of liked it at the same time, I was a little bit on the fence with that. This year, I have a pretty light variety. Now because the temperatures are dropping, it's cooler, the flowers are surprisingly a little smaller. This is Wizard of Oz. Is very compact and I think I could have filled the area with 2 or 3 more of these, but I'm definitely going to lift them and store them because I think the flowers are very beautiful. It has the perfect height for the area and what it does is I have a lot of rich colors. So you can see a lot of the annuals, they just start to peter out now. The cosmos are not looking great in here anymore. The amaranth isn't looking fantastic in here. So the midsection of this border really has its peak during summertime. But the dahlias are still looking really pretty and fantastic. And I love that they are a little bit on the lighter blush side because they just brighten up the entire area. If you just swing around here, this is actually, if you just stand there and just look down here. No, really, go over there, please. You will see that this is one of my favorite vistas into the garden at this time of the year, because you have this ocean of asters, then you do have the shrubs there with the yellow rusty foliage. This is again Cornus Midwinter Fire. This is how it looks actually at this time of the year if it hasn't dropped its foliage. The ones that I put there that I just bought in the garden centre, they didn't have foliage anymore. So this is how they're supposed to look at this time of the year. Cosmos are still looking nice, aconitum fantastic. It is very poisonous though, so if you want to introduce it into your garden, like my parents had a garden, I grew up with that, and my parents put it as well more to the back of a border, so as a kid I couldn't reach it, but my parents always told me growing up as a child, it's very poisonous, don't touch it, don't do anything with that, and I never did. So this is how I learned it. Asters are looking very pretty here. This one fantastic, Euonymus altus as a standard. This is little Moses O'Dam, so it is going to stay pretty small and compact, and it grows extremely slowly. I've learned, I think a year ago, one of you commented that I should not promote this kind of shrub because it is invasive, and I've done my research. If you're watching this video from the northeastern states of the US or similar areas of Canada, that variety actually is invasive in your area, but here in Europe it's not invasive, so this is why I can really have it. It has a lot of tiny red berries, but they never sat seed anywhere here. You know, I've never had any shrub popping up anywhere here, and I've done my research, so in Europe they are not on a red list anywhere. But always bear in mind, like, I show you the plants that I grow here at the south coast of the Baltic Sea, and they perform well here. They might not do so well in your garden, and some of the varieties might even be invasive in your garden, so just keep that in mind. This is, I'm not sure if I've shown it to you last year, I reworked the compost area, and I think it looks pretty nice and neat for a compost area. So here I've got a big pile of leaves. This is my leaf compost, where I just pile up leaves. I've taken out some of it from last year already, which has almost ripened. It just needs a little more time, so I just put it into 3 different buckets. Behind it, this is where I put all the cuttings from roses, especially the rambling roses. And this is just a mixed compost, where yesterday I just emptied after cutting the lawn with some leaves, because I thought, oh, the leaves are good, so it's not like only the lawn. I'm going to leave it now a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with a garden fork and mix it up a little bit. We're not going to walk through here, we're going to turn around, and then we're going to walk down that direction again. I follow you now. And then we walked down the terrace garden, where one of my biggest projects is waiting to happen this winter, most likely, depending on the weather, because I want to move the compost that is here in the back and move it to another site over there. Here are the raised beds. They're looking cute actually. We still have carrots going. I've got some herbs in there, so all of this is fine. The basil is really petering out. It's just getting too cold now. Here I have my raised beds. Some of the things were really nice this year. Still, I've got some potatoes in there. We've harvested strawberries, which was fantastic. I've got some kale in there. So in general, it was all right. It was not a fantastic year for veggies here, but I'm happy. Like, every little piece of bit you can harvest is nice. Here, this is where the compost used to be. I still dumped lawn here because I had to. But what I want to do is lift a lot of this, level it out, and connect the terrace garden, which is here on your right side where the vegetable garden is, with the terrace garden here on the left side. What I want to do is, I don't want to have any perennials or shrubs or anything. Well, shrubs, yes, on that the new side that I'm going to do here. I want to put fruit shrubs there. Some nice, hello Alfie. Alfie's with us too, by the way, here. Yes, you already had a pair. She's about to go to the groomer next week, so she's looking a little fluffy, and she needs to be brushed today too. I want to put some blueberries there, raspberries, all those little things, maybe some veggies. I have to see. What I did this year is I reworked the entire staircase, so finally you can walk down nice, safe and sound. It took really long to do this because obviously I'm not like, I'm a self-taught handyman. I haven't professionally learned how to do it. But at least now you can walk down without wobbly or feeling like, oh my gosh, it's going to collapse any moment from now. Some asters are in bloom here. The terrace garden has its ups and downs through the year. There's a new aster that I've introduced this year, which is this one. It is called pink cloud or pink star. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm gonna, if I remember, I'll put the name in the video. I think it is pink cloud though. I quite like it. It is collapsing a little bit. So if you want to put it in your garden, wonderful flowers, but it definitely needs staking. There is another persicaria here. It is pink mist, something mist definitely. Misty morning, I think that was what it is, misty morning. And I think this is exactly the soft pink that I want to have at the terrace where I'm going to redo the planting there. I've got 5 plants in total because there are 2 more at the back, 2 or 3 more at the back, which is great. And they've grown here already for 2-3 years, so they're ready for dividing eventually too. And this is just a wonderful soft pink that I want to have at the terrace. So a little bit will be reworked in this area as well. So let's just move back and then move down all the way, because a lot of work already happened there and more is going to happen. So if we just walk here to the last bit of the garden, you see some pots randomly standing in here. And what I did is I've taken out some of the soil, because the soil here at this patch is kind of funny. There are patches of really clay. You can put it together in your hands and it is going to hold the shape exactly as it is. So if you're not sure what kind of soil you have, if the soil is wet and you put it together in your fist like this and it keeps the shape exactly like that, most likely that might be clay. And this is what happens here in some patches. Then there are some patches of sand, which is completely the opposite of clay. What I've done though is I came in with a lot of compost, dug it under, just to loften up the soil, to improve the soil structure in general. And I did a planting scheme for this area. I want to focus on a color combination of soft pink and soft yellows, because I quite like the combination. A lot of people say like, ooh, it's weird and I don't like it, but I think it can work if you choose the right colors, because a lot of the pink blooms actually lean into a yellowish world. For example, the rose Queen of Sweden, the David Austin rose. If you just look at it, it is a rather yellowish pink, soft pink tone. And I think that this is going to look really nice with some soft pink flowers as well. I started planting, and the pots are in here as like placeholders for where I want to put other plants, so I just get the spacing right. For example, here are 2 roses. I will have some rudbeckia there in the back. I'll have some yellow and Peter here. So I've already done a little bit here and there. I've planted a, there's the label luckily, catalpa, a slender silhouette, which has soft yellow flowers. I've just seen it online. I've never seen it in real. I've seen catalpa, but not this variety. So yeah, let's see. This is some panicum. This is a variety called sanguinea, which I think is really nice because it has these yellowy, a little rust too, which is typical for a lot of the panicum varieties, but mainly golden yellowy. So I think it is going to be a nice addition to the entire area here. I've introduced another new persicaria. Persicaria really is one of my favorite perennials for the garden, mainly because it starts flowering quite early in the year, and June, beginning of July. For you, if you're in a warmer climate, for me, it's really like mid-July normally. And then it flowers all the way through to the frost. This is flamingo feathers. So it is a really nice soft pink, or like a pinkish tone, which leans into the world of warm and yellowy pink. So I think with the foliage of the Cornus, this is Aurea, I think it is Aureum. I think it's really a nice color combination here. The Aster in the back, just tried it out this year. I have to stake it next year. This is a variety called Rudelsburg, again, a German variety. But I think the flowers are fantastic, really big blooms, just a perfect soft pink tone. Really love it. This is something which I just parked here. This is Aster Fellowship. This is going to go into the upper garden because this is like this cool pink that I was talking about, when pink leans into the world of blue and a cool color. So this is going to go to the terrace. So I bought them, I found them in the garden centre, loved them, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to put them here, park them, and then I'll see. What are you seeing there? All right, here in the back, it looks a little bit wild and random at the moment. There were some cut flowers in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this a little bit into my rose garden. Some roses are still in bloom, quite pretty. This is gentle, I think Hermine. I hope I pronounce it right. Another David Austin rose. Really beautiful. I ordered 1 or 2 more, I think 2 more even. Just take a look at it. very wonderful scent as well. So I'm going to get another one here. And I really just want to put more just roses here and a few annuals in between. Some scabiosa, and in the back maybe again some of the cosmos, because cosmos are just beautiful for cut flowers. You can see like really long nice stem. I could cut it and pop it in a vase right away. Very, very pretty. So it's going to change a little bit in here. I try to make it look less wild, because at the moment it looks extremely wild and a little bit random. So if you just turn around, you get to see hopefully how this entire area is going to work. You see the path, it curves through here. I really still love the little wicker fence. I have to replace them now. After a couple of years, the hazel is very brittle and it's time to replace it. So this is one of the projects that I'm going to do for winter. Alfie's waiting here to get a ring. All right, so let me throw it for her. All right, there she goes. Let's walk up again. It's a little cool down here, isn't it? You can see one of the things that I want to do is, at the moment, if we walk up, you can really look into the staircase like this, which is not nice. And I bought these little ledges here, which I painted, and I just want to put them in front just to hide all the ugliness, like the under construction, to make it look a little more neat. Obviously, all of this is not looking nice, but it's bit by bit. You know, I'm replanting and planting, so I'm always like doing a little bit of this and that. But I think in the long run, this is going to look really nice and neat. Yep. I just want to end here because I think that this is again another nice vista when you can see like into the garden with the grasses and how it waves, like the waves of the blue asters, all the purple tones, the dark purple of the aconitum, almost a bluish tone. And I think I love purple, it's my favorite color, but I think it's also really beautiful here because it just works well with the entire nature surrounding, with the Baltic Sea. And this is why I really think like all these tones and shades just work really beautiful here. What a wonderful day to do the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time with me here in the garden. And maybe you could get some inspiration. Be looking forward to see you very soon again. So take care, guys. Bye.